This portrait is badly underexposed, but simply boosting the exposure up creates another problem. The background becomes far too bright. So instead of trying to fix everything with one set of adjustments, we're going to process the photo twice and then bring the best bits of each process together, blending them seamlessly for a really nice natural result. All right, let's get into it. If I boost the exposure up, as you can see, we get a lovely exposure on his face. The file certainly has enough information in it to bring back all of that detail, but by exposing his face properly, which was covered by this hat, we are then losing the information in the background. We could try and play around with dropping the highlights, try and get a balance of dropping the exposure and then boosting the shadows up that way. That is one approach. But still, the background does not look good. If we look at the original where we have a pretty good exposure on the background and then compare it to that, we're trying to solve two separate processing problems, the darkness of our subject and then the exposure of the background with one universal edit. So instead, I'm going to propose a different method. Let's just do a quick edit, which is only going to be concerned with the background. Because it's the background, I don't want to add any sharpness to that whatsoever. And perhaps we just want to have a little bump in brightness, which I'm going to do with the curves. And that's it for our background. I'm going to call that a day. From this to this, just a slight color correction and a slight lift in the tones. Now to deal with the rugged hero of this photo. And the way I'm going to do that is duplicate this layer. So currently we have an identical copy of the layer sat one on top of the other. So now if I jump into Develop Raw, now I'm going to process this with my only concern being what does our subject look like. So we definitely need to boost the exposure. We may even want to add in just a little more contrast, and let's pop in a bit of shadow recovery so we start to see his eyes better there. And I think we could do better with this curve as well. I'm going to put a low point on the curve, which is going to control those shadows and just keep them kind of locked in where they are. And now I'm just going to brighten things up just ever so slightly. And now because he's surrounded by leaves, we're getting a little bit of green bounce light going into his skin here. And this is where we can separate, and this is where we can benefit from separating the edit into two layers. So I can grab the tint slider and actually correct for that little bit of green tinge that was going on. And his skin may also be just a little oversaturated, so I can bring that down. And to be honest, we may even be able to push that exposure just a little higher as well. And then just, yeah, we'll control those highlights. Okay, so before and after, this is a massive difference on this layer. And in terms of the background, we are looking much worse on this layer. However, on our subject, we're starting to actually see all of the detail in that portrait. It looks much better, in my opinion, on him. So now let's combine the two. As you may know, Luminar has a great feature within the layers properties for removing the background from a portrait. So I'm going to click the background removal AI tool. We're going to get an analysis of him. And there we go. We have a pretty blooming good selection of our character here. I'm just going to click remove and see what this looks like. Now, because we have these out of focus leaves down here, we don't have a very nice subtle blend down there at all. And he does also look a little bit cut out as well. So what we can do with that is actually come into the mask actions. And if I show the mask again, we can have a look at it. We can grab this feather slider and start to bring that up. And that's going to create a softer transition between the two layers. This isn't going to solve all our problems, but I think it's going to be a little better. Okay, we're heading in the right direction. Now I'm just going to refine that mask by coming into the masking again, grab a brush, make sure we have a lovely soft edge all the way up to 100. And now I'm just going to start to paint more of the effect from this layer over the leaf. So we have that subtle transition. We can even expand that brighter top layer that we created. And if it's getting too bright, we can switch to the erase mode and subtly start to bring that in. And that's going to darken down some of those edges. Again, just creating a really nice soft transition here. And as we look at the before and the after, you can see this is how we can save an underexposed portrait whilst not affecting negatively the background. Having flicked through that a couple of times, I just want to make a couple of adjustments with this mask. I feel like we need to go a little darker on the background just over here. I'm really delighted with how we've been able to recover the underexposed portrait without ruining the background. However, one thing that does strike me is that I'm not super happy with the overall color balance. I think I was preferring things how they were with a little more warmth in them. So I'm just going to come back in, and as I lift the temperature on the subject layer, I'm going to remember this number here. This is our Kelvin temperature. I'm going to jump back down to the layer underneath, which represents the background. And then I'm going to come down here to the temperature, and I'm just going to paste that number in there. And we're actually back to where we started with the color temperature before and after. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now, if we want to go any further with any of the development, the key here is to make sure that we merge these two layers down, and we do that by selecting one layer, holding Shift, and then clicking on the other, right click, and then we choose Merge Layers. And now any tool that we decide to apply, for example, if we wanted to put on some accent AI, that is going to apply to the whole photo, not just the subject or the background that we had before. After I combined those two raw layers, I had a little play around and I came up with this image here. If you'd like to see how I did that edit, just write full edit in the comments below and I'll put a video together on that. And if you like the look of this photo editor, Luminar, and you don't have it yet, I've got a discount link in the description below along with a coupon code that's going to save you with a double whammy there. All right, so hopefully that's helpful. I'm going to see you in the next video right there, or if you want to see my process on this one, just write full edit. Okay, catch you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.